come into clinic, senior rabbits that also need the same sort of help. So I think the nurse's role in the senior clinic pretty much unlimited, in the sense that they often have a little bit more time. They can get a slightly different relationship with the owner and the pet than a vet can do. And that's often just down to logistics and timing. So I would want at least 45 minutes, preferably an hour, for a senior clinic. Now, that's just not viable for the majority of vets in general practice to achieve that. Yeah. We need to be realistic. That's not going to happen. But, you know, the nurse is really involved from start to finish of that patient care, developing treatment plans for the patient with their vet. And I think the one thing that I found is really useful is having a named vet and nurse team for a patient. So as much as you possibly can, you're getting that continuity of care, the continuity of treatment, but also you can assess that patient and you're able to determine whether there's been measurable change for the positive or the negative between appointments. And if you've got a named vet that you're going back to and the owner's built that trust with you, you've got that kind of triad of treatment protocol going on where everyone trusts everyone, everyone knows how other people work, but we can effectively assess that patient each time we see it, and we can go back to the vet, or the vet can pop in as well, and they know how that dog or that cat was the last time they saw it. And I think that's so valuable, and it's something that in practice maybe hasn't happened, you know, years and years ago. It was very different, but it is the way that we're moving forwards. And, you know, from a senior clinic, we're looking at everything from, you know, the physical side, but also the medical side. So lots of senior pets have comorbidities running alongside. So, yes, we know they have compromised physical capabilities, but their kidneys, their liver may not be effective. There may be some degree of cognitive dysfunction or syndrome developing, which affects every area of their life as well. And I think if you're running a senior nurse clinic, you need to be mindful of everything and look at the animal as a whole holistically, and not just the area that the owner's necessarily concerned about.
Yeah, I think, you know, the one area as a vet myself, as a GP vet, that I feel that gets neglected in the clinic time that I have is the home management, and actually really reviewing all of the things that are going on with those pets, and having the time to do that is something that I think actually nurses are generally better than vets at getting that information out of owners. I think often with owners, probably not with me because I'm quite relaxed, but with a lot of vets, it's a very formal relationship, and they wouldn't disclose things about where the dog sleeps or the dog's up to, whereas the nurse is often much more approachable. And I think I know the nurses myself often get way more information than I've got on something, and I'll say, "Oh, they never said that to me."
I think it's a different dynamic, isn't it, between a nurse and a patient, and a vet and an owner, and you know. And I think it's, if we all work together, we get the best results. And I think it's trusting your team, whether that's the nurse trusting their vet or the vet trusting their nurses, that they've got the skills and capabilities to run these clinics. And I think those relationships are changing in practice, and they're becoming more widely recognized. And I think, you know, absolutely, this is the way we should be moving forwards. And, you know, I'm really keen on following up with owners. I'll try and get in touch with them ahead of the first clinic. Ideally, I like to go and visit them at home. Now, just for the first visit, if nothing else. Now, obviously, during COVID, that's gone out the window. We can't do that at the moment, but what I can do is get my clients to walk me around their home on video and show me where the dog sleeps, show me how it has to navigate. Does it have to go up steps? Does it use a dog flat? What's the garden like? So that when they bring that information, I've had that emailed ahead of time, and I can assess that already, and I'm starting to build a picture in my mind of what that dog or cat's life might be in their home environment.
Yeah, because it's so you don't get an accurate idea of what's going on. You get a snippet of time when you see that pet, and it doesn't really reflect what you're necessarily what they're experiencing at home.
No, and often they don't behave the same in clinic either. You know, the owner